Hello and welcome, fellow digital soldiers, to True Reporting. It is the 12th of July, and on today's podcast, we will be covering an amazing article from The Observer entitled, "It Sure Looks Like Jeffrey Epstein Was a Spy, but Whose Spy?" My friends, a lot is coming out with Jeffrey Epstein, and he will be bringing down a lot of big fish along with him. But before we get into this article, my friends, will you please welcome my new sponsor, Noble Gold. Hey there, fellow digital soldiers. We've got a quick chart we need to show you. This is the S&P 500 going way back to 1996. As you can see, since 2009, the stock market has been on a roll, but all rolls come to an end. Any way you look at it, it's top heavy. So if you're relying on your IRA or 401k plan to see you through the retirement, you may have a problem. The thing is, have you got an alternative lined up? If someone is letting loose with an automatic rifle, you don't stick around, do you? You get the hell out of the way quickly. Noble Gold is putting this out there as a heads up. You might want to speak to them about finding a place of safety for your money too. Talk to them today for 5 minutes and see if you can bulletproof your hard-earned savings before it's too late. Call 1-877-646-5347 and get protected with a gold or silver IRA today. Thanks, friends. All right, guys, welcome aboard. Let's go ahead and hop into it. This is True Reporting. And from The Observer, we see it entitled, "It Sure Looks Like Jeffrey Epstein Was a Spy, but Whose?" In terms of scandals, the sordid saga of Jeffrey Epstein has it all. Mysterious, gaudy fortunes, jet-setting debauchery, lots of pretty girls, including very young girls, sex and more sex, not necessarily legal or consensual. Add a battalion of VIPs, including billionaires, A-list celebrities, royalty, and no less than 2 American presidents. The only thing missing was espionage, and it's not missing any more. This week, the Epstein story took center stage for all of the reasons listed above. The surprise arrest of the 66-year-old admitted pedophile on Saturday night at New Jersey's Teterboro Airport as he was headed home from Paris reopened it all. The case had jumped in and out of the news since 2007 when Epstein admitted his affection for underage women to the Department of Justice in exchange for lenient treatment. The media has been agog since the weekend, as details of Epstein's shocking private life are emerging. Public horror has followed. Another alleged victim came forward just today, claiming Epstein raped her in 2002 when she was 15, and more seems certain to come. The Justice Department unsealed its new indictment against Epstein on Monday, which focuses on the 2002 to 2005 period, when Epstein allegedly ran a secret empire devoted to moving underage girls between his New York and Florida residencies in order to sexually exploit them. Epstein's life will never be the same. But what was that life really? That's a key question which nobody has been able to publicly answer. How Epstein maintained his fantastically extravagant lifestyle has long been a topic of speculation and mystery. He claimed to have made his vast fortune as a financial guru to the super rich, but nearly all of his clients were unnamed. Moreover, in a business where overwork is standard, Epstein seemed to have unlimited free time to pursue his avocation of obtaining, in quote, massages from young women. A major hint was dropped this week by Vicky Ward, the intrepid investigative journalist who has tried to expose the ugly reality behind the Epstein facade longer than anyone. In a report for the Daily Beast, Ward shed light on the Justice Department's 2007 non-prosecution agreement with Epstein, that sweetest of sweet deals since it got Epstein a laughably lenient sentence for crimes which any normal person would have gone away for decades after admitting to. Alexander Acosta, the current U.S. Labor Secretary, is in the hot seat also, since a dozen years ago he was the U.S. Attorney for South Florida who cut that deal with Epstein. Ward explained the background of that deal, which is now a noose for Acosta. Specifically, she elaborated that the Epstein issue came up when Acosta was appointed to the cabinet by President Donald Trump. Ward writes, He'd cut the non-prosecution deal with one of Epstein's attorneys because he had been told to back off, that Epstein was above his pay grade. I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence and to leave it alone. Again, I was told Epstein belonged to intelligence. He told his interviewers in the trumpet transition, who evidently thought that was a sufficient answer, and went ahead and hired Acosta. The Labor Department had no comment when asked about this. Wait, what? So Acosta, according to himself, backed off on prosecuting Epstein back in 2007, despite the possession of ample evidence proving his guilt, because he, in quote, belonged to intelligence? Whose intelligence exactly? Is the first of many questions that arise here. This claim was met with an appropriate degree of skepticism, and Acosta had a chance to explain what he meant in a press conference this afternoon. On camera, Acosta maintained that he did the best he could with that case, while admitting that it hardly looks like a fair punishment now. The intelligence issue came up, and Acosta's response was bizarre. He punted on setting the record straight instead of proffering this strange word salad when asked about Ward's reporting, end quote. So there's been a lot of reporting to that effect, and let me say, there's been reporting to a lot of effect in this case. Not just now, but over the years, and again, I would hesitate to take this reporting as fact. This was a case that was brought by our office. It was brought based on the facts, and I look at that reporting and others. I can't address it directly because of our guidelines, but I can tell you that a lot of reporting is going down rabbit holes. To anyone acquainted with our nation's capital, that's non-denial denial of an epic kind. Given the chance to refute Ward's report, specifically that the Epstein case involved intelligence matters, Acosta did nothing of the sort. Indeed, he functionally admitted that it's true. What then can we conclude at this point? It appears that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in intelligence work of some kind for someone, and it probably wasn't American intelligence either. The U.S. intelligence community is lenient about the private habits of high-value agents or informants, but they won't countenance running sex trafficking rings for minors on American soil for years. When it's plausible that Epstein was sharing some information with the FBI, many criminals do so to buy themselves some insurance. It's implausible that he was mainly working for the Americans. Who are the suspects then? It seems awfully coincidental that Epstein's best pal and business partner for decades has been Ghislaine Maxwell, the British socialite and daughter of the late Robert Maxwell, the media mogul who died under mysterious circumstances in 1991, something of a Bond villain turned real life. Maxwell loved the limelight, despite being a swindler and a spy. British counterintelligence assessed that Maxwell was working for the KGB, while pervasive allegations that he was working for Mossad too are equally plausible. Since the lines between Russian intelligence, Israeli intelligence, and organized crime can get remarkably blurry in practice, as I've been explained previously, assessing whom Epstein's been working for many proved difficult to answer with any precision. But we have a suspect list to start asking questions. What's not in doubt is that a sex trafficking ring centers on minors, which involve numerous global VIPs in compromising situations, would be of high interest to quite a few intelligence services. The Epstein saga seems certain to get more unpleasant and interesting. And my friends, this is coming from the Observer. And we can see here, as we scroll back up, talking about Robert Maxwell and actually his best friend, which I believe is his daughter. I believe it's pronounced Ghislaine Maxwell. There's a lot of information coming out on her also, so let's go ahead and hop into that real quick. So guys, coming from, I believe her name is pronounced Ghislaine Maxwell. This is from her Instagram. It says here, she's an ex-girlfriend and best friend of Jeffrey Epstein. Can anyone tell me what the symbol on the mask means? And as we zoom in, one of the most creepiest masks I've ever seen, we all know the symbolism, right? Pedophilia, right here. Absolutely. And what is even more disturbing is, I guarantee you they put this mask on to do stuff with a lot of kids. to scare the kids, to break them down, and then to probably do the most horrific things you can think of. So, my friends, do as much work, as much research as you can, trying to find out more about this woman. And we're going to go touch base on more of Epstein Island and talk about how the locals view Epstein Island. Locals call Jeffrey Epstein's Caribbean retreat Pedophile Island. This is from the 10th, guys. This is from 2 days ago. Pedophile Jeffrey Epstein's Caribbean oasis in the U.S. Virgin Islands was anything but chaste, locals say. Everybody called it Pedophile Island. St. Thomas boat operator Kevin Goodrich said of Epstein's 75-acre Little St. James Island, about a mile southeast of St. Thomas, it's our dark corner. Epstein is accused of sex trafficking and a related conspiracy count for allegedly sexually abusing a network of underage girls at his home in Manhattan and Palm Beach, Florida. Many of those hired to work on the island are bound by non-disclosure agreements, but one reported seeing a parade of barely legal girls there, though he and others kept their heads down, he said. When he was there, it was keep to yourself and do your thing, the man said, noting Epstein would gift workers with old machinery and surplus lumber as well. The 66-year-old financier bought Little James Island more than 2 decades ago and later purchased neighboring Great St. James Island. He wasn't well received, said St. Thomas native Spencer Consalvo. People think he's too rich to be policed properly. The island appeared quiet Tuesday, the day after Epstein pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking in Manhattan federal court. The hurricane shutters were closed on the cream-colored mansion, and a security guard puttered around the grounds on a golf cart. So, my friends, what have we learned today? That most likely, in all aspects of it, that Jeffrey Epstein definitely is a spy. He's probably a spook. And for what intelligence agency, right? The Russians? The British, us, who knows? I mean, we don't know. Obviously, he made his millions, his billions, some way other than just, lounging around, being with underage girls on his island. If you found this informative, my friends, and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at TRUreporting, and don't forget to leave a like. The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other viewers, thus more eyes on the truth. You can donate to this channel and keep it afloat by going to my PayPal or Patreon links in the description box below. We also have a P.O. box, and our merch has come in. TRUreporting merch out there. If you want to get some, go for it because there's a lot to choose from. It's great. I've ordered some. Actually, a lot of people have ordered it, so definitely get your hands on it. My friends, please be kind and loving to one another, and I will speak with you very soon. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.